Hey guys, it's James here with Critical Hits, and today we're playing a NES game, Solar Jetman. So, I'm going to spend about 15 minutes on the game. We're going to start off just right from the beginning, approaching planet Preludon, because it's the prelude level. And the premise behind the game is essentially you're a Solar Jetman. You have a current mothership, as you may see in the background there landing. And it's not gold. So you need to find all the pieces to the golden warship. If I had the manual, maybe there'd be some additional information, but it doesn't really matter because it's an NES game, it's about the gameplay. So the concept here is you can leave your home base ship sort of thing that is not golden, that's the important part, in a little jet pod, and you're gonna fly around each world looking for two things. First, enough fuel to blast off to the next world, and second, the gold warship piece. You don't want to leave without it, that's why you came. So, as you'll see, I've just tractored on to my first item here. Just going near something will tractor beam it, which allows you to start dragging it back to your ship if you don't get hit by dicks like that. So the good news is the game, while very hard, is fairly forgiving. As a Jetman right now, I am a little bit more maneuverable than I am in my pod. But, of course, if I die now, I can't go back to the ship and just get a new pod. I actually lose a life, of which I have 4. So just quick explore again. I build it out of those spare parts you see in the foreground. And no problem. So I'm going to go back and try and get the upgrade here. See if I can get tractored. Oh, didn't get close enough. But yeah, essentially to run over the controls real quick. B is your boost, so this little engine that fires out behind you. Left and right spin you around. So if you want to go up, spin around. No big deal. With A being sort of shooting the little pellets. That's pretty much all it is. It's pretty easy to figure out, quite difficult to get the hang of. Your probes are now equipped with shields, so that's good. First upgrade is shields, fantastic. Just push down to activate, there we go. Those fancy shields. Up turns them off. And now we can really get motoring. You'll see if I crash into a cliff here, it doesn't really do much damage. F being my fuel, but also my health. And if I smash into a wall, not much damage. But some of the interesting things about the physics here, for example, if I hit the wall hard here without shields, it does more damage than if I just tap the wall. It just does a little bit of damage. So the game's very physics-based. It understands how fast you're going, and the collision detection's pretty good. And of course, while you're gathering these golden warship pieces, you want to pick up things like these crystals. They're going to give me money, and eventually extra lives, and you also drag them back to the ship. I'd say gameplay's kind of divided into 2 parts, so gathering things, hauling as I call it, and sort of clearing the way, destroying the things that are going to prevent you from hauling, because while you're tractor beaming something, you actually can't have your shield on. So that's sort of the trade-off. Oh, and look at this. I've found my first piece of fuel, and I think in the first level you only need 1 fuel cell, which is nice and easy. So I just want to kill these little guys first, these little wall things, and they don't respawn, which is handy. And then I'll tractor beam that fuel and start hauling it back. But again, sort of part of the premise is that each world that you go to has different diameters, so size varies. The cave systems get deeper and deeper and more complex, but also gravity. So you'll not only find new enemies, but in the second world, for example, the gravity becomes far more significant, and you need to really be careful or you'll get sucked into walls, and of course that burns your fuel. Just got the shield off there too. So, yeah, as I drag this back, the only other thing I guess really to say is that, in case you're wondering what the other HUD elements are, the W is weapon. I don't have any weapons right now. See? So now I've collected enough fuel. The ship part's all I require to blast off. You'll see actually there's like a little fuel tank. But first I want to get to a secret world, so I'm just gonna sort of wreck my jet pod here because I'm more maneuverable, which means I can get to this secret real quick. Oh, just before it flies away. So most people don't know about this, or maybe they do. I don't know. I recently found out, but this is just a bonus level. Gets you some spare crystals and cash, which will help us buy our fancier jet pods later in the game. And I mean, it's a fun demo level. You actually can't be hurt by the asteroids. If I try crashing into one, yeah, you'll see it doesn't do any damage to me, so no problems there. But I think I did pretty well. I got 9 out of 10, I'm gonna guess. And this is sort of where I think it might even be Canadian, because there's a lot of references like, you know, this is the Space Loonies, are sort of like the currency shop store thing. I'm just gonna go back to the jet pod here, get another jet pod. There we go. Away I go. And this is what I mean. It's hard, but it's forgiving. As long as you make it back, you don't lose life. Nice and easy. In terms of sort of other mechanics besides fuel, and if you run out of fuel, you will just blow up and turn into the spaceman, even if you don't hit anything. There is the enemies and the enemies' range. Some of them are not necessarily going to come out and attack you. They can just be little orbs that we'll see in the next level. And so even here, I've sort of taken what I call a wormhole, I'm sure there's a proper term for it, to a new area, and the walls actually push me away. They repel me like they're almost magnetic. So this is the warship piece. Drag it in here. Oh, not gonna make it. I'll just push it the rest of the way here. There we go. And look at that. Found a piece of the golden warship. Awesome. So time to go back. And just a note, you can't go through those if you have the shield on. Take the shield off. There you go. And because I just got the warship piece, I'm going to get a quick little bonus level here. So the cyber zone, I don't know what that means. Basically drive around, get more crystals. But the walls don't hurt you, which again makes for a fun level. You don't have to worry about taking damage or anything, just time. So yeah, I mean, in terms of audio-visual stuff, the animations are all very smooth. There are a number of cutscenes, as you've already seen. We sort of saw the landing one. You get these little like chalk-up screens that tell you how many points you got. And you get things like this blast-off screen, which you can see again. There's the fuel bar, full orange. So, prelude on success. Take off and head to the next location of the golden warship. Don't really know where that is, but I guess we'll find out. So while we're talking about it, I guess I'll go over some quick tips and tricks if you are planning on picking up the game. First one is momentum. So the game is completely physics based and momentum is your friend. If you're hauling something, be sure before you tractor it, you're already moving in the direction you want to go, because that acceleration or speed that you already have when you drop the tractor beam and it latches on will carry through and start off. If you just try to like hover over an item and then drop your shields to tractor it, it'll immediately drag you down because you don't have any momentum. The other one is clear the way if you can. So like I said, there's sort of two aspects to this game. First one is hauling. That's bringing stuff back to the ship to get points, upgrades, you know, like our shields, even the golden warship piece. And you're going to have a much harder time, and probably it'll take longer overall if you don't clear the way first. So I'm not going to grab this fuel here right away now that we're at the second world. But you will notice the gravity on this one was 24, so my boosters are not nearly as efficient. It takes a lot more for me to get some altitude. But yeah, like anything like that that's mounted on the wall, kill it. Kill it in advance, because as you drag things back, it will kill you. And again, you can't have your shields up while you're dragging it back, so that makes it a little harder. Just gonna see if I can clear up this area here real quick. Ugh, so much more booster. But, yeah, I mean, enemies respawn later on in the game. Larger enemies, some of them will not respawn, so even clearing out those can be good. But, get the combat out of the way, and then you can just focus on driving the damn ship and pulling whatever it is back. What else can I tell you? Prioritize getting the upgraded pod. So, right now I'm trying to tractor back this upgrade. It's pretty painful. It weighs so much. But later in the game, in the store, you have the opportunity to buy an upgraded pod. So sort of save your pennies because you're going to need it. It has better engines, I think, but more importantly, it can tow around little portals, which we'll be seeing here shortly. So let's see what we got. You have equipped your probes with boosters. Select and B to thrust. Right. So now gravity's not a problem. Look at this. And just jet around. That's regular jets. Regular jets. Booster jets. Yeah. So, that's like the first upgrade you should get on the second world, by the way. Just fly right over there. We can now tractor our fuel back easily using our boosters. But yeah, so save your money. In the very first store, you'll notice there was a map option, and I didn't buy it. It's because on this level you can get navigators, and navigators function exactly the same as map. For all I can tell, there is no difference. So we'll go get that next, and that'll probably be pretty close to our 15-minute mark. But yeah, basically the new pod, the reason you're saving for it is it lets you tow return portals. And these return portals are going to be important because when you get blown up, you can just hop in a return portal and you appear back at your main ship, which, while not golden, allows you to get a new pod. So this is an example of a gravity well. The blue ones suck you in, the red ones will push you away. Both of them are a giant pain, and you want to kill them. So this one will sort of suck me towards it. That's okay, just blow it up. As we go down here, I can feel something pushing me away. Oh yeah, there's a red one. Shoves you out, and now there's a blue one. It's gonna suck me in, but I'll just blow it up while I drive towards it. Drop my shields, see if I can tow it. Oh! So the enemies are pretty varied. There's like those little star things. The first level, I don't know if you saw it, there's like little green things that sort of float around. You have to hit 3 times, they kind of just crumble. There's also little green and pink UFOs that shoot spread of bullets. There's obviously these wall turrets. And this is one of those return portals that I was talking about. I can just hop in here. And look at that, back at the mothership. I'm gonna equip my pod real quick. I bought that titanium bullet pack. That actually doesn't use weapon charge. It's just the next X number of bullets that you shoot. I don't know offhand. But we'll head back, and I don't think I'll tow that crystal back just for time's sake. But I mean, really, you're going to want to be pretty thorough and gather everything in every level you possibly can. So, do I have any qualms with the title? I mean, it is bloody hard, but again, ultimately fair and fairly forgiving. You can make slow progress too, because you get the save after every level, and I mean the save is kind of annoying. I think it's like 16 characters, but really not that bad in terms of portable NES ones. I mean, there's some 40 character save state ones. Oh, look at this, there's a spare pod. Get sucked in by this blue thing. Sometimes there are just spare pods lying around the worlds. They'll be whatever type of pod you have, so if you upgrade to the Italian racing pod or whatever it is in the store, you will, when you find a pod around, it'll be an Italian racing pod, so don't worry about that. Get sucked in by more of these gravity wells. Enemies drop those little cases. You can shoot them, get points. If you drive over them, same number of points, so it's effectively the same. Here's a different enemy. It's like a turret. Actually really hurts the shield. We'll see if we can take like a hit of damage here. Yeah, so you'll see it does quite a bit of damage. I'll destroy it. Won't take too many shots because I got my titanium casing bullets on. And then I'm gonna pull this up. This is my navigators, and you really need the boosters before you even attempt this. You'll see even with the boosters, I'm having a hard time lifting it. And I want to drag it to one of those return portals because I don't want to drag it all the way to the mothership. And again, they'll take items, and me if I'm a little individual astronaut or cosmonaut, I don't know, or zany not. But they'll take items back, so you don't have to actually go all the way back to the ship, which is a pretty handy thing to know. So I'm just going to push it the last 10 feet, and then we'll get the little upgrade message that we saw before. You have equipped your probes with navigators. Now there's a map screen. It's a little too zoomed in. You just push start select. I'm not going to do it. But yeah, I mean, qualms with this? Nothing really. It's probably, I would say, the best $6 you can spend on the NES. I was extremely excited. I originally didn't realize it was for the NES. I played it on something else. I think it was like a Macintosh at school in grade 4 or something. But yeah, I mean, this is a fantastic game. There's no risk you don't like it. It'll give you definitely some playtime. It's really quite hard, and I fully recommend it. So, thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll show you hopping in a jet pod before we go. Look at that. Brand new. Just laying there. Of course, it doesn't respawn. So, 2 thumbs up. And if I got anything wrong or there's any corrections, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.